So the warning signs have been signaled. Folks, now is the time to prepare, if you haven't already, for the coming starvation. And it is really apparent, it's really clear. We are getting announcements here. Unfortunately today, I hate to bring this update to you, but I felt as though this was an important time to make sure you folks were aware of what was going on around our world. And you know, we're here with family trying to enjoy a really nice and peaceful holiday Thanksgiving dinner and meal that we were all looking forward to, only to receive headlines and news updates that are never ending of businesses, companies, corporations wiping out families' incomes and paychecks and savings accounts, forcing folks into a possible state of starvation, a financial starvation at that. Yeah, it will circle back and affect folks in the grocery stores, the food in their pantries, refrigerators, on the kitchen table. Everyone will feel the pain. No one is immune from what is happening. And the Fed continuously tries to adjust interest rates, perhaps possibly even indications coming out that the Fed may pull back on their next interest rate hike, and it will be lower than the last 3 consecutive 75 basis point increases. Maybe this will allow some breathing room and perhaps maybe save some families in the process. But at the end of the day, we know what Jerome Powell and the Fed's mission was and still is, and that is to soften the economy, shrink balance sheets, and ultimately induce layoffs in the process. Millions of jobs will be lost, hundreds of thousands already. And that is what is so troubling and disturbing, is that just 2 days before Thanksgiving, we see companies laying off employees. It's almost if they couldn't just wait 2 more days. Can you imagine? Now, I said this before on previous videos about how folks have made reference to the fact that some of these corporations, that these big companies like Amazon and Walmart and Best Buy and Intel and Microsoft and Google, all these big companies and corporations that are showing up in the news, HP, Hewlett Packard, added to the list of initiating job loss, job cuts, layoffs, terminations, hiring freezes, basically wiping out families at the quite possibly worst time of year. And you know, it's I said it before, and it's like some folks will say, well, these companies, they're laying off tens of thousands of employees, perhaps maybe hundreds of thousands once you do the math and you add it up, of all the positions that have been eliminated and will not be refilled. Perhaps maybe this is whittling down the overemployment that was induced during the pandemic. However, at the end of the day, we can't look at this and say, well, they still have a lot of employees there. Because like I said before, if it were you and you lost your job, even if the company didn't lay off 10,000 people, even if Amazon, even if Jeff Bezos, after announcing that he was going to be giving away his entire fortune or most of his fortune throughout the course of his lifetime, after having donated $100 million to Dolly Parton, even after all that, and he says, you know what, I'm just going to lay off one person. Well, if that one person was you and it affected you and your family and your ability to survive, possibly putting you on the brink of starvation, you may have a different opinion about what's going on. And it's like, how could this happen? Could it not have been postponed? 2 days before Thanksgiving, and a large furniture company decides to lay off their staff. 2 days. Meanwhile, we mustn't ignore the facts and the information that has been made available to us, and that there are companies out there such as Amazon that are saying even after Thanksgiving, even after this holiday, before Christmas, more folks are going to lose their jobs. Can you imagine losing your job, being laid off before Christmas? I hope that these companies out here have more of a heart to perhaps maybe postpone until at least after Christmas. But reports are still being shared that these layoffs are going to continue into 2023. So this is, in fact, the warning. I don't quite know how much clearer the warning could be or could get. I don't know if they're going to provide any better indication as to what is coming down the pike, and unfortunately waiting for many, some of which perhaps maybe deserve to lose their jobs for underperformance, insubordination. Not going to say quiet quitting, because we've already established that quiet quitting, there's nothing wrong with quiet quitting. Some companies may not appreciate it, but there's nothing wrong with only doing the job that you have been hired and being paid to do. There's nothing wrong with that. However, I don't think that there's going to be any better indication of what is to come besides the warnings that have been issued so far. And if you are perhaps maybe ignoring these warning signs or unaware, I hope that this video serves as a useful tool for me to share with you what I'm seeing in the industry, what we're seeing with the liquidity crisis with the banks, businesses at risk of huge bank loan and credit default, companies in the red, revenues shrinking, profits shrinking, overhead costs increasing, with employees typically being the highest overhead operating expense for businesses. So if a business is looking to cut back and save money, that's probably going to be the first place they go. Alternatively, sell more, make more. But much like I've shared with you folks before, one of the best and easiest ways to improve your economic situation is to attack your budget, find ways to save money, spend less, and that'll ultimately make the money that you have and or receive go much further and be of better utilization. But these are coming. The wave has started. It's a domino effect. We've been talking about this for months, folks. You can look back on old videos. And I tell you what, I'll make this promise to you folks, okay? Because I got to go inside, and I guess I should have taken a walk after I eat, because I know I'm going to probably overindulge on some of these Thanksgiving staples: turkey, stuffing, mac and cheese, sweet potato, collard greens. The list goes on and on. Hawaiian rolls. We're going to tear up them Hawaiian rolls. But that's just it. I'll tell you what, here's my promise to you. If perhaps I am completely wrong, and these layoffs, these mass layoffs, these effects of the Fed trying to adjust the monetary policy to get inflation under control, perhaps maybe do not end up and result in hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of Americans losing their jobs and facing eviction, facing foreclosure, facing homelessness, facing starvation, and that doesn't occur, well, guess what? You can come back to this video and you'll be the first one. I will own up to it. you can come back to this video and you can say, Kevin, you were wrong. But I'll tell you right now, if you prepare now for what is likely to occur, what is likely to happen, what the warning signs are continuously indicating to us, if you prepare now and I'm wrong, well, guess what? You're gonna be so much better off for it in the future. You guys take care, be safe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.